Hey Pioneers, and welcome to another edition of Inside Canyon Springs. I'm Miguel Dorado.
And I'm Nakaya Berry. In today's show, we're sitting right here in the KCSL studio because every day we communicate to you by bringing you the daily news.
And that's what today's show is all about. We're going to be talking to you about the many different ways we communicate with each other.
Technology makes it more efficient and easier to communicate with another, such as TV,
There's music,
radio,
and MySpace.
well, the list goes on and on.
And in today's journal, we're going to talk to you about the many different ways we keep in touch with one another.
I communicate them like through texting, AIM, MySpace, calling, keeping in touch with them.
MySpace, texting, and a little bit of Xbox Live.
Mr. Texting, voicemails, email.
Basically, all I do is like call them, and or else I'll like see them at school.
I usually just text, usually text my friends.
I usually talk with my family at like family dinners, or if I go out with them, or just sit down and watch TV.
Usually just talk on the phone or MySpace.
I use cell phone. I call, I text. With friends, I call, text, write notes.
Just texting on my phone, and like I'm on my Xbox, so I talk to my family that live in Washington, Mexico.
I just use like a house phone or something, email, MySpace, Facebook.
I mostly talk on the phone because I like to actually hear what the person has to say, other than just LOL or OMG.
With me and my family, we communicate like during times when we eat dinner or lunch. We sit around the table and just talk how our day was and like what we're doing, what's new, what's going on with our lives.
Yeah, it depends who I'm talking to and if the conversation is interesting. Yeah.
I used to go on MySpace a lot, but then it just got boring, so I don't do MySpace. I don't use it anymore, but.
All this limited texting and stuff. Like I could only text when there's like emergencies or something. Like if you have to tell someone something quick.
I do. I communicate through AIM, like texting, instant messaging, MySpace, even Facebook.
Because kids at a certain age, the talking takes too long. Texting is more direct, bam, 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 so they can get on to their next, their friends or whatever.
Many teens use the internet as a way to communicate with friends and family, MySpace being the most popular.
MySpace is a good way to keep in touch while sitting at home, and it doesn't cost money or minutes like on a cell phone.
Plus, it's also a great way for teens to express themselves.
Yeah, it definitely is a good way to express yourself.
What's your MySpace say about you, Nakai?
Well, I'm sorry I don't get on MySpace that often, but many people do, and basically they're addicted.
No, I'm not.
Okay, well that brings us to our next story.
Stalin takes a look around campus to see what teachers and students have to say about it.
There are many forms of communication that we use today, and MySpace plays a major role in that.
MySpace, I think, is like a place for people to meet each other and to keep in touch with friends and family.
I think people have MySpaces just to keep up with the trend, keep up with friends. Maybe they moved to a different state and they want to keep up with them. They want to keep in touch.
It helps keep in touch with old friends, friends from elementary school, middle school that you just kind of were close with and you just want to keep talking to them throughout your life.
MySpace is a good way for groups such as Student Council to inform students of what is going on at school.
We made the Student Council MySpace, myspace.com/pioneerstuco, add us. We made that so that we could communicate with the students at Canyon Springs in another way.
It's a good thing for our student council to have a MySpace because it promotes our school and it kind of informs everyone of what's going on and our events.
And it causes a lot of good advertising. That's how we get people here for like senior sunrise before school starts. We get about 150, 200 people, and all we do is put it on MySpace. And then the word gets out and people know about it and they come.
To some people, it is considered a necessity. But what if MySpace didn't exist anymore?
I'd be less good at the internet. I wouldn't know how to make profiles and stuff because it makes me better at doing that.
It would be really boring. I don't think a lot of people would have a lot to do. A lot of people's free time is wasted on MySpace. It isn't a bad thing, but it isn't a good thing either. I think maybe the country would be a little bit more fit. They'd want to go outside and play more since they didn't have MySpace to be on the computer all the time.
Although MySpace is an excellent way to communicate with your peers, there are also cons that everyone should take into consideration.
The bad thing about MySpace is that it's overly addicting. People get on MySpace before they do homework, before they go outside and hang out with their friends. They get on MySpace and just sit there for hours on end.
Well, MySpace starts drama. It does. I've experienced a bunch of drama from MySpace.
The bad thing about MySpace is that they have sexual predators out there and pretending to be somebody else and wanting to meet with younger people.
Many may argue the pros and cons of MySpace, but in the end, it is still a great form of communication. I'm Guion Dingson, along with my partner Stalin Elmanderes, reporting for Inside Canyon Springs.
Kai, do you remember the days where people used to pass notes in class?
Yeah, I remember those good old days before texting and MySpace became popular.
But how many people do you actually see get in trouble now?
Hardly none, because everyone's getting in trouble for texting.
And that brings us to our next story. Kayla goes to talk to some students if they still pass notes in class.
Yes, I pass notes because class is boring, and if that person doesn't have a cell phone, then I'm just going to pass them a note.
Yes, I pass notes in class. I write notes to my friends, my girlfriends, my boyfriends.
It's fun, and we can talk to each other while getting caught.
No, I don't pass notes because I be text messaging. It's old-fashioned to pass notes.
No, I text message.
Have him next class. Although notes are plain and simple, people still find ways to entertain themselves during class. Whether people use their creativity by decorating or choose to pass them without decorations, their message still gets through.
Of course I decorate my notes. Decorate your notes so they'll be all pretty full and the person won't get bored,
Yes, I decorate my notes.
It depends how important the person is to me. If it's just a regular person, I'll just strip out paper.
Put hearts and smiley faces on them.
I think that's a little childish. Write a note. Just write what you got to write. You ain't got to decorate it.
I usually just write them, but if I'm writing a note to someone that's in another class, then I'll decorate it because I'm bored.
Technology is a faster way to communicate, but texting has defects that note passing does not. Both of these are means of communication, but people debate on which one is more efficient.
I text more because it's easier and you don't get as much tired as writing because you just use your fingers, and on writing you use your whole hand to write. I say it's better to text. It's more modern.
I prefer texting. It's faster.
Notes leave paper trails, which can get you in a lot of trouble, where text, you just go to your inbox and delete everything.
But if they ain't got no phone, you might as well pass a note.
Writing notes takes too much time. You gotta make it all colorful and stuff.
Some students think it's fun to pass notes during class, but most teachers do not tolerate it.
So Nakai, how do you like to communicate to people?
Well, I recently did a story about using a webcam, and you can actually be different places at the same time, but still be able to see and hear each other.
You can talk on the phone, but you can only hear, not see the person on the other end.
The only option seems to be the classic, talking to someone face to face. The only problem is you have to be at the same place at the same time. Of course, being in the 21st century, one would expect for there to be something more up to date. The next best thing compared to talking to someone in person all happens through this small camera.
a webcam used for video chatting, or when using a Mac, iChatting.
For example, I can be in the studio and still be seen in the front classroom. On a larger scale, a person can be on one side of the world while talking to somebody on a whole other continent.
Video chatting is popular among college students to keep in touch with friends who have gone separate ways. Alumni Demetrius Pipkin of 08 and Kylie Foster of 07 invite us to their dorm.
I'm in my dorm room at USC. And I'm in my dorm at ASU. Is that your roommate today? That's definitely my roommate. That's Johnny. Hi. So we're TJ's room. This is my roommate's side of the room. A little messy in there, huh? A little messy. We don't believe in complaining.
Video chatting fulfills the wanting of someone near and allows distant relationships to become once again personal.
I would love to talk to TJ and Trevor and Anthony and all these people that I went to high school with in person, but I mean, they're in Arizona or Colorado or random places, and you just can't. It's hard to do. So I mean, this is really nice because, like TJ said, you can get back to that personal level, and so you can kind of have that face-to-face without actually having to be there.
And it just sort of gives you that sense of presence, which I like a lot because I work alone so much, I think.
The use of video chatting is spreading, which causes a wide gap of age groups.
I've used it more to talk to my mom and my brother than really anybody else.
My parents live in South Texas, so I get home maybe once a year. And I actually bought my mom a Mac to try and get her to use this. And it's funny because when she sees it, I mean, she's like blown away. She's like, oh my gosh, there you are. I can see you and hear you and see me move all in real time.
I think college students use it the most, but I mean, I chat with my mom. I talk to her, my parents, my sister. So, I mean, my sister's only 12 and my mom is older than that, put it that way. So, I don't think there's really an age group. It's just, you know, some people are more apt to use the technology than others. And if they can use it, then they utilize it.
The benefits of video chatting are the abilities to recognize emotion, attitude, and body language.
Like, even if you're not talking to them over iChat, just to be able to see their reactions when you're typing to them, I think that's pretty fun. It's nice if you can see their expressions, so it's easy to just tell, like, if they're being sarcastic or if they're joking around. So, like, it's really nice to be able to see how they react to something. So it makes it more interesting, I guess. Communication is really, like, stepping the game up, but I just can't wait to see where it goes in the near future.
Ranging from students to parents to the workforce, video chatting proves the point that the use of improved forms of communication will become less of an exception and more of a rule, and that our world seems to only be getting smaller.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
All right, I will see you guys later. All right, see you later. Bye.
For Inside Canyon Springs, I'm Nakaya Berry. And now we're presenting a new segment on the show that is called Just One Kid's Opinion. It is a chance where one person can express his or her opinion, but at the same time looked upon with respect.
This week I got to start off this segment by giving my opinion between the communication between the sexes. Hope you guys enjoy. Well, I think I know a little about a lot. And what I've come to notice is just the lack of understanding between couples or people who just like each other. I think I figured out what that problem is. It's just the basic differences between the genders. Whereas guys run on logic and need to make sense of their surroundings, girls are more emotion-based and they go on their feelings. For example, a girl might be like, I feel as if we need to break up, I just don't see it anymore. A guy, on the other hand, will be more like, I just think we need to break up, simple as that. Notice the key differences, think and feel. And that's where I come in. I'm here to try to help you guys just recognize some of those key differences. We'll start with girls. Girls, come on now. Keep in mind that we're guys. When you expect something from us, you already made the first mistake. Instead of complaining about what your boyfriend doesn't do or how that guy you like so much hasn't asked you out yet, maybe you should just take the initiative because more than likely, they'll feel the same way. Now, here's a random fact that most people won't know. About 62.7% of women base love in what they see on movies. So, girls, just because you saw The Notebook doesn't really mean you understand true love. Yet, here's where the biggest problem occurs, ladies. what you mean and what you say, because surprisingly, we as normal people will take what you say for what it is. Instead of saying how much you hate dressing up for dances, even though you want to go more than you like to hear yourself speak, just be straight with us and we'll do whatever we can to help you. Now guys, keep in mind that your sole reason in a relationship is to make sure she is happy, but that doesn't necessarily mean you'll be, because in relationships, it's a give and take type thing where for the most part, the girl just takes and takes. So the most important thing to remember, guys, now it's key things, so pay attention. Do this. Did you see that? That was silence. Girls love it when guys are quiet because they just like to hear themselves talk. Encourage whatever her opinion may be, no matter how wrong it is. For example, if she starts rambling on why she thinks someone is out to get her and has a personal vendetta against them, agree with her. Add small remarks just to encourage her. Be like, really? She did what now? I told you that girl was crazy. Guess what? She'll think you're actually paying attention and your communication has increased just that much. A note to girls, when it comes to asking guys for a favor, a guy couldn't care less what you ask them. They will willingly agree to do almost anything. For example, if you ask him that you want to role play next Saturday and you want him to pick you up in front of the Luxor at the Strip in a taxi cab, then drive off in that taxi cab to go to the food court at the Fashion Show Mall, and then you'll introduce each other as strangers. Well, he'll say his name is Brett, although his real name is Larry, and you'll say your name is Chelsea, although it's Veronica. Then ask him to take you back to his house so you can meet his parents, even though they already know you, and you'll introduce yourself as Chelsea just to see how they react. And if you ask them to lick a 9-volt battery right before you leave and give them that goodbye kiss so you could say that you feel sparks between you two, yeah, the guy will look at you weird, but he'll simply say, all right, but you better learn how to keep a secret. And as I sip my water, I'm sure some girls spit in. Guys, just remember to say yes. If she says, can you believe I got an F on my report on the 5 planets of the solar system? Agree with her. Be like, word? I can't believe that actually happened. Or if she starts talking about how her new pajamas with pockets help her remember things at night, agree with her. Be like, oh my God, me too. I keep an agenda in my back pajama pocket so I can remember stuff. Well, that's pretty much all I got on how to help you guys communicate better. But hey, that's just one kid's opinion.
You know what, Miguel? I really don't agree with you how you said that girls like to hear themselves talk all the time. What's up with that? That's not true.
Actually, it is true, and besides that, it's just my opinion.
Okay, well, if any of you want to express your opinion, feel free to send an email to kcsltv.net.
And while you're there, you can check out this episode or any other episode you may have liked.
Well, that's all we have for you today, Pioneers.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Many teens use the internet.
That was a good one. I think that was lame, actually. And I said, I was like, I didn't know.
See, I completely forgot that it's spelling.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Angry black man.